Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Road to the Roses Spring Concert featuring the Central Carroll High School Percussion Ensemble, Jazz Ensemble, Concert Band, and Symphonic Band. We have a wonderful evening of music planned for you tonight. As you're probably aware, the Central Carroll Bands have been hard at work raising money for a very special trip in December. The Pasadena Tournament of Roses Parade is the largest and most popular of all parades, with 1 million spectators along the parade route and a national and international television audience well exceeding 200 million. Following a vigorous application process, the Central Carroll Marching Pride was one of only 13 high school bands in the United States selected to the prestigious parade. With every note we play and every step we take, the Central Carroll Marching Pride will be representing our great community and state in Pasadena on January 1st, 2011. Let's give them a big round of applause. The Central High School bands have a long tradition of excellence with superior performances and energizing, crowd-pleasing shows. In fact, the Central Marching Band has earned nothing but superior ratings in every contest and festival attended for the past 12 years. With over 200 class placement trophies and 23 grand championships, the Central Band program has become and continues to be one of the strongest band programs in the state of Georgia. The band has traveled all over the world, including New York, Philadelphia, Orlando, Australia, the Bahamas, London, the 1996 Summer Olympics, the Presidential Inauguration Parade, and the 2004 Tournament of Roses Parade. The band performed in the Hollywood Christmas Parade in Hollywood, California, where they earned the Grand Championship in the Bands at the Bowl competition at the world-famous Hollywood Bowl. Oh yeah, the Hollywood Christmas Parade. What a great little parade that is. With all the honors and awards received, the Central Band is most proud of our relationship with the wonderful Carroll County community. The students and staff of the Central Bands are committed to this community, and we thank you for your support over the years, and we look forward to representing you in Pasadena, California at the granddaddy of them all, the Tournament of Roses Parade. We hope you enjoy the evening of music as we share our talents with you, and we thank you for helping us in all our endeavors. Tonight there's a souvenir table set up out in the lobby where you can buy Rose Parade items, including official commemorative parade trade pins designed exclusively for the Central Band, official Central Carroll Marching Pride hats, and oh yeah, we can't forget the Harlem Globetrotter tickets. I'm just curious, how many of you remember the Harlem Globetrotters? Yeah. How many of you remember Meadowlark Lemon? He's still playing! There's got to be like 90. Our first performing group this evening is the Central Carroll High School Percussion Ensemble under the direction of Mr. Chris Osley. They will open with Instant Carmen. Hailed as one of America's favorite operas, Carmen never saw its fullest potential prior to the death of its composer, Georges Bizet. Shortly after the opera's 30th performance in June of 1875, Bizet died at the early age of 36. In the years that followed, he gained his fame posthumously for what is now considered one of America's top 5 most beloved operas. Known for its Spanish rhythms and exotic instruments, Carmen has now been brought to the concert stage in an arrangement to for percussion instruments. Please welcome the Central Carroll Percussion Ensemble. selection is Storm Break. In this work, you will hear the depiction of a storm building over an ocean and finally bursting into full force. Listen for the percussive representations of various natural elements. Ocean drums depicting the ocean waves, timpani cymbal representing the howling of the wind, and bass drum representing thunder in the distance. The piece has interesting melodies and complex rhythms throughout, and an incessant groove that holds on to you until the very end. Ladies and gentlemen, we will end this portion of the concert with Storm Break. The next group we will feature this evening is the Central Carroll Jazz Ensemble under the direction of student teacher Alex Johnson. Their first selection will be Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. This chart gets its crazy title from the movie of the same name, and it is a tongue-in-cheek swing chart by Gordon Goodwin. Arranged by Ralph Ford, it's a hit with both the band and the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, the Central Carroll High School Jazz Ensemble under the direction of student teacher Mr. Alex Johnson. Selection is Mr. Ruby's very own theme song, and it was entitled Living in a Dream. This beautiful ballad has a memorable melody and lush ensemble voicings. We will feature our middle school band director and talented alto saxophonist, Miss Amanda Osley. next selection is entitled Tastes Like Chicken. If you've heard of the funky chicken, then you're ready for this even funkier version. Hot licks and a cool groove add up to one smoking chart. This chart starts slow, then quickly picks up the pace for a jam session that is ready to bleed. Ladies and gentlemen, Tastes Like Chicken.
Our next group featured this evening is the Central Carroll High School Concert Band. This group earned superior ratings for the third consecutive year at the GMEA Large Group Performance Evaluations. Central Carroll was one of only 2 schools in the entire district to have their second band earn superior ratings on stage and sight reading. This band continues to excel in all areas, and the students are to be congratulated for their hard work and determination. Let's give them a round of applause. Their first piece tonight is Dave Brubeck's It's About Time. In the early 1950s, the Dave Brubeck Quartet literally broke the ice regarding odd time signatures with their recordings Time Out and Time Further Out. Today, the ability to play in all time signatures should be in every musician's repertoire.
Charles Sayre skillfully combines Take 5, Unsquare Dance, and Blue Rondo a la Turk to take us back to when it all began. Ladies and gentlemen, under the direction of student teacher Alex Johnson, please welcome to the stage the Central Carroll High School Concert Band. childhood hymn is a beautiful choral setting of Jesus Loves Me and has soothing, modern harmonies that enhance its simple beauty. In this short piece, players are confronted with intense sustained passages, rubato, accidentals, modulation, and a wide range of dynamics. We hope you enjoy David Holsinger's composition, A Childhood Hymn. Next selection is entitled Campbell River Sketches. It is a two-movement work for concert band. The first movement, Ballad, is a lyrical piece in typical British folk song style. It is beautifully contrasted by the second movement, which is a rollicking, syncopated, jig-like 6/8 march. A majestic ending closes the work in bold style. Ladies and gentlemen, the Campbell River Sketches. I've tried to avoid this part of the presentation tonight. In big bold letters it says, Neil speaks here. So without further ado, here's the one and the only, Neil Rubin. Don't start.
Mr. Giles forgets that concert a while back, he kept on and kept on. Remember that? It's coming. Before we move on, I do want to share some bad news with you, some unfortunate news. You probably noticed that Mr. Trumbull is not with us this evening. Last night, I guess it was about 7:30, 8 o'clock, he received a phone call that his mother had suddenly passed away. And she had been battling cancer, but this was still an unexpected time. So I would ask that our hearts and prayers be with David and his family. She was very, very supportive of all her children, but truly loved music. And just a little bit that I knew just from speaking with Mr. Trumbull, and obviously he is devastated right now. So I'd like to dedicate tonight's concert to her, and just keep that entire family in your thoughts and prayers, because it's definitely a sad, sad time for all of us. I also want to take this opportunity, a little different spot of the program, to just kind of let you know about a couple things that are coming up. Next Friday is Band Awards Night time. The year is quickly coming to a close, and before you know it, graduation will be here, and that's our big last celebration of the school year. So it'll be next Friday out of Midway Macedonia Baptist Church again. This year's a little bit different. At 6 o'clock, their church is actually going to provide refreshments for all of our students and friends and family that will be attending the banquet. Did you hear that? Yes. But that'll be at 6 o'clock in their fellowship hall, and then the awards night actually starts at 7. So we'd love to have you come out and join us at 6 o'clock and just relax and celebrate with us. I also want to point out we have a very, very special guest with us, Mr. Sean Tobin, our principal, and his lovely wife. Would you guys please stand? As you know, we have a little basketball game coming up tomorrow night over at the University of West Georgia Coliseum. You've probably seen it in the paper or heard on the radio. If you're watching Good Day Atlanta this morning, you saw that our president and what's that guy's name? Meadowlark Lemon. Yeah, he was being interviewed, and they didn't get any of the celebrity team out there because they didn't want to have to talk, listen to their trash talking anymore. But if you listen to WLBB AM, Carrollton radio station, the other day, they actually had Joel Richards, Chief Richards from the Carrollton Police Department on there, and Meadowlark was on there, and Hollywood Brown was on there, and there was some definite trash talking going on. It was great. Now, it was all coming from Chief Richards. The Globetrotters, they just laughed and shook their head. I don't know what that means. I think they're going to take it out on us tomorrow night. But anyways, we're real excited about this event coming to Carrollton, and it's just a huge opportunity. If you haven't gotten tickets, get those now because they're going fast, and it's going to be just a wonderful evening. I want to tell the parents just a little bit about the schedule tomorrow because this has been kind of a wild week. The students are actually going to be released a little bit early tomorrow afternoon so they can get over to the Coliseum by 4 o'clock. And we'll have a short rehearsal over there. Their Coliseum is a little bit different than the Central High School gym. And then they'll be free until game time. So hope to see everybody out there. The band's going to perform at halftime, and I know you'll get a big kick out of everything that's going on with that. Are these guys good? Johnson is still my man. Don't forget that. I'm just lending them to you for No, in all seriousness, I want to take a moment to talk to you about Mr. Johnson. Last year about this time, the University of West Georgia Jazz Ensemble came over to Central High School and performed, and after they finished, or Mr. Johnson, had come up to me and said, hey, the rumor is that you actually have a reputation that you don't take student teachers very often. I said, no, you're right. Would you consider taking me? And after I asked him how much he was going to pay me, I'm just kidding. I'd heard so many good things about Mr. Johnson, and I said, sure, come on and join us. And you never know when they're coming out of college how they're going to be. I know that I was awful coming out of college. I can't believe you're way hard. But you just never know. And this has been one of the biggest blessings for me this year because he does not act, teach. His character, nothing about him says college student just coming out trying to find a job. You would have thought that he had been doing this for several years. In fact, he is better than many people that have been doing it for several years. And I've been so impressed, and as you know, this is a busy time in the Central Band Room, and I have spent the last 6 or 7 months constantly going in different directions. And somebody like Mr. Johnson coming and taking the helm with so much that he's taken has truly been a blessing. It has allowed me to do some things, in regards to the trip coming up and just a million other things that's taking place in our band room. He's band director ready now, is what I just sent in a letter of recommendation to somebody. If we had an assistant band director here, we'd hire him in a heartbeat, and he's that good. And and I didn't have to tell him anything. When I was student teaching, my supervising teacher had the, when you push him in the pool, sink or swim. He was pushed in the band director pool, and needed very, very little guidance. He picked the program, he did the lessons, he planned everything. And I can't say enough how impressed I am with what you have done. He will be, not probably, look out for, he will be one of the band directors that you hear a lot about in their bands. They're going to go far. And I told him tonight before we started there were 7 scouts sitting out in the audience this evening. And I need to tell you now, I'm just kidding. There's 9. But no, in all seriousness, somebody's going to be very, very fortunate to have him working with the program. And Mr. Dodson, we have a little token of appreciation for all the hard work that you put with this. Thank you.
Central Carroll High School Concert Band will close their performance this evening with The Incredibles. This is an entertaining arrangement of the stylish theme from the blockbuster animated movie by the same name. A combination of spy adventure music from the 1960s mixed in with cool jazz make this theme music dramatic and exciting. We hope you enjoy The Incredibles.
As you know, if you don't know by now, I'm going to tell you, but as you probably know, we have a very, very special 2 guests with us this evening to help us celebrate a performance trip that is coming up that will be just a very memorable performance for all of our students and parents. We're very honored to have these 2 people with us. Mr. Jeffrey L. Throop, the president of the Turner Roses Parade, and his wonderful wife, Angel. Angel, would you please stand and be recognized? I want to tell you just a couple things about the Throops. They flew in on Sunday from Kentucky. It's a rough life. You know, they were at the Kentucky Derby last week. They've been to the Indianapolis 500. They were just recently in Japan. I'm thinking, Rose for president. But it's not that simple. Mr. Throop has been a volunteer member of the Pasadena Turner Rose Association since 1974. He was elected to the executive committee back in 2003. Serving on many, many committees and supervising many things to get to the position he's at today. In addition to those services of the Turner Roses Parade, he's very, very active in his community. In addition to all those activities, he's also been active in the Pasadena Police Reserve Unit. Above all that, he's got a job, a real job. And Mr. Throop is the executive at the George L. Throop Company, a specialty ready-mix concrete producer who has played an instrumental role in the stuff that happened in Hartsfield. So it's smaller. He was born and raised in Pasadena and went to Pasadena City College and served in the U.S. Army as a military policeman and stockade security. He currently lives in Sierra Madre, is that right? California with his wife, Angel, and they have 5 children and 2 puppy dogs, which I got to see a bunch of pictures on, and they're precious. But these are just wonderful, wonderful people. Just in a little bit of time that they've been with us, they have just really been an inspiration, and we are so incredibly blessed and privileged to have them in good old Carrollton. And this time I would like to introduce you to the president of 2011 Pasadena Turner Roses Parade, Mr. Jeffrey Throop.
Sorry you had to listen to all that. But we love it here. We've been here, as he said, and have had a great time. Wonderful hosts, wonderful kids, wonderful staff. It's just been terrific, and it's what it's all about to me and to Angel, and giving back and having a little part in helping these kids come to Pasadena and be in the Rose Parade. I thought I'd just take a couple minutes and tell you a little bit about the history of how the parade got started. Back in 1890, there was a group called the Valley Hunt Club, and they're still in the parade. They have a horse-drawn carriage. Those of you that watch it on TV or get to come and watch it will see them. They had an idea of inviting people from the Midwest and the East Coast to come to Pasadena for a week or 10 days to see what it's like in Pasadena in the wintertime. Well, they had 3,000 people on the parade route the first year, and they said, oh, we can't do this again. So the Turner Roses was founded and took it over. And you also might notice in the bio that this is the 122nd Rose Parade, but only the 97th Rose Bowl game. Well, the story there is that we didn't get it right to begin with in the football. So we had chariot races, we had ostrich races, we had you name it to try and have a festival. And finally, we got it right with football, and the end of the story, you know what's going on. We have a partnership with the Pac-10 and the Big Ten, and it's a long-lasting relationship. So the parade is made up of floats that have to be completely covered with live material. We have about 42 floats. We have 22 bands and about 20 equestrian units. The bands are the best in the world. We have 13 that we invite from the United States. We have a committee that's their job, go find the best high school bands in this country, and in the world for that matter. So of the thousands of high schools that have marching bands, 13 get that invitation from the United States. And that makes this band very special. We have 2 international bands. One is an honor band from Japan, and one will be coming from Veracruz, Mexico. So that's special. You can imagine what it's like for those kids to come from a whole different culture and come to the United States for the first time and experience what they get to experience. And the Japanese band, they include homestays. They set up with a local band that's not even in the parade, and they live with other families for 3 to 4 days right before the parade. The audience has grown from 3,000 on the streets to just about 1 million people. We had the Nielsen Company came out recently and gave us a report and said just in the United States there's 52 million. But we're also broadcast in 220 other countries and territories around the world. The number that just scares me is we were in Shanghai last year, and this minister leaned over and says, "I just want you to know that we're now broadcasting a parade in all the territories and provinces of China." And I go, help me with that number. It's got to be, I just can't imagine. He says, well, it's 1.5 billion for TVs. So I said, well, cut that in half, cut it in half again. It's just still a huge, huge number. So they will be performing in front of conservatively 200 million people or more. It's a great honor. The president each year gets to pick a theme and a grand marshal. And with Angel's help, I got one word of the 4. And because we're in construction, I got the first word, which is building. And she got dreams, friendships, and memories. And that pretty well wraps up our feelings of the Rose Parade and what it means to those that get to come and participate. It's a dream come true for band directors to bring their band to the Rose Parade. There's no greater parade in the world than the Rose Parade. And I'm not trying to make this up. This is what we hear from all the band directors. Their goal in their career is to bring a band to the Rose Parade. So for these kids, they will make friends and they will have memories that will last a lifetime. And last, I would just like to thank our host for this trip. It's been terrific getting to know everybody. Couldn't ask for more. They just can't do enough for us. It's just incredible, and we really, really appreciate all that you've done for us. And you know, I've told the groups that I've had a chance to talk to that getting them to Pasadena is a team effort. They have worked very hard as a team to get to the level of competition that they have. The Rose Parade is not a competition. They have worked so hard to get to that invitation that there's no competition, but they want to be at their best. The way you all can help is to give them the support that you can. And call on your friends and relatives and anybody you can to help them have a great time. So at this time, I would just again like to say thank you for all your support, and we'll see you not only maybe later tonight, but we'll see you at the game tomorrow, I hope. Thanks again.
I want to let Mr. and Mrs. Throop know that since we haven't picked a Grand Marshal, I am available. And I'd also like to mention that the reason why the Big Ten is represented, go Buckeyes, they will be in the game. Just to replicate that so the other two Buckeye fans that are in the crowd, thank you for supporting. I just want to say a couple things. When we start our program, we're not going to interrupt anything. We're going to do it as one feature. So, but I do want to say a couple things. You know, as we mentioned earlier, concert band does such a wonderful job, and we talk about this often. But you know, we make fun of the title of the second band because they're not a second band. They are so wonderful and so talented, as you heard, and I'm just so proud of them for what they've done. I also want to congratulate this group and just all the achievements that they have done. We throw a lot at them every year. I told them from the get-go that we're going to treat them like a college band and upward, and they rise to that occasion. And it's not easy. The music's not easy, and I'm tough on them, and we throw a lot at them, as you can see in the program tonight. And I just can't say enough about what these kids mean, and these kids mean, not only to our program but to myself. It's been a tough couple weeks. And because of the staff that we have, Mr. Johnson, and just more important than all that, the type of kid we have, that's the only way we've been able to do what we've been able to do. And a very, very special group is our seniors. If you're a senior in the band program, would you guys please stand and be recognized? It's always tough, that last concert, and but again, I just can't say enough. In fact, our seniors and concert band at the end, if you want to come up and join us for that song that we do, grab your instruments and come up, so one last person I want to thank. We give him a hard time, but Mr. Giles, I can't say enough. Just to say he's the voice of the Marching Pride does not do it justice. He graduated from Central in like 1938 or something. I think he was the founder of the Central Band. But anyways, and then after that he continued to announce, and his voice hasn't changed at all. He's energetic. He just runs up to that press box. But in all seriousness, you won't find a bigger fan of this band program. And during marching season, you just don't know. I seriously am a little tense until Mr. Giles comes down and let me know what he thought. And he always shoots straight, but I have that much confidence in him and value his opinion so much. And we'd like to thank Mr. Giles for just the years and years of announcing for our band program, and thank him tonight publicly.
Can you imagine his mug on a billion TVs? I'm going to trade mine in for like a little 10-inch. Our final group to perform for you this evening is the Central Carroll High School Symphonic Band. This group has been recognized as one of the premier concert ensembles in the United States. The Symphonic Band earned the Grand Championship at the Smoky Mountain Music Festival and was selected to perform at the Dixie Classic Grand National Adjudicators Invitation, an opportunity given to only a select few bands in the country each year. This year at the GMEA Large Group Performance Evaluations, they received all superior ratings and all A's in every caption possible, both on stage and in sight reading. Their memorable performance was concluded with a rousing standing ovation that will be remembered forever. Tonight, the Central Carroll High School Symphonic Band pays tribute to the greatest country in the world, the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as the Central Carroll High School Air Force Junior ROTC cadets present our colors. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and welcome to the stage Mr. Neil Ruby and the Central Carroll High School Symphonic Band with their performance of a patriotic salute. Our next selection is a perfect expression of the true heart of the South, Southern Hymn. The original themes used in this beautiful setting are intended to be played in the style of a slow Southern folk hymn similar to Amazing Grace or Shenandoah. Using suspensions and resolutions as well as mild moments and powerfully emotional builds, this marvelous work will really take you back to your Southern roots. good old-fashioned Southern jazz. Featuring a Dixieland combo along with a full band, you're about to be treated to a bit of vintage New Orleans-style jazz with just a closer walk with thee, followed by a newer version of When the Saints Go Marching In, and winding up with a dramatic and exciting ending. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoy At a Dixieland Jazz Funeral.
That makes you want to kick the bucket a day too early, don't it? Aaron Copland was one of the most respected American classical composers of the 20th century. By incorporating popular forms of American music such as jazz and folk into his compositions, he created pieces both exceptional and innovative. As a spokesman for the advancement of indigenous American music, Copland made great strides in liberating it from European influence. Today, 15 years after his death, Copland's life and work continue to inspire many of America's young composers. Claire Grundmann's A Copland Tribute is a collage of passages from works of Aaron Copland. It begins with a statement of fanfare for the common man, in honor of the common man during World War II. Next comes several passages from the ballet Appalachian Spring, including variations on a Shaker dance, more commonly known as "'Tis the Gift to Be Simple." The piece concludes with music from 2 dance episodes from the ballet Rodeo, Buckaroo Holiday, and Hoedown. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoy this collection of works from one of the greatest American composers that ever lived, in our tribute to Aaron Copland.
We truly do live in the greatest country in the world. The freedom we enjoy today, though, did not come easy. It is because of the commitment and sacrifice of so many men and women in our armed forces who have served and continue to serve all over the world to keep our country safe and free. Yes, it is because of the bravery of so many that we can enjoy even the simplest things in life. For that freedom, we are forever grateful. And because of that freedom, we as Americans should continue to support our troops so that our children and grandchildren will continue to live in a free America. At this time, the Central Carroll High School Symphonic Band would like to pay tribute to all of those who have served and continue to serve in the armed forces. When the theme song for each service branch is played, please rise so you can be recognized. And to all of our soldiers, both current and past, we salute you. United States Coast Guard. millions of soldiers have given their lives so that you and I can be free. Because of their courage, we live. On a hymn song of Philip Bliss, based on the hymn, "It Is Well With My Soul," the Central Carroll High School Symphonic Band would like to dedicate their next selection to all of those who have lost their lives while serving our country, and to all of their families and loved ones. We would also like to dedicate this piece to the memory of band parent Tammy Driscoll. She passed away this past April after a 10-month journey with leukemia. She always had a love for music, and the Central Band in her memory will continue to live in all of our hearts and our music. Let us pause for a moment of silence as we remember these individuals and the tremendous impact they have had on our lives. Ladies and gentlemen, we close our patriotic tribute with American Faces. The United States of America, the greatest country in the world, where freedom truly does reign from sea to shining sea. God bless America. Say it with me. God bless America.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank you for attending this evening. As always, it has been an honor and a privilege to stand before you to introduce such fine musicians, to recognize a man who is, I hate to say it, but a dear friend of mine. You know, you got to take them when you can get them. That's all I can say. But I want to salute the veterans and their families for your service. I salute you tonight. And for all of you that continue to come out and support the band, we thank you so much. As a reminder, there will be a reception honoring Rose Parade President Troop in the Black Box Theater. Directions to the black boxes are out in the lobby. He says turn left and go down ramp. I'm not quite sure what that means, but be sure to visit our souvenir table and get your Rose Parade pin and Globetrotter tickets. And we're almost ready to close it out. I got a feeling I know what's coming. As long as Mr. Ruby won't dance. He's got some moves. Y'all notice that? Let's close it out.
Two, ready, play.